live from the Connellsville Canteen. It's Late Shift with your host, Mary Sampey. On tonight's show, Zachary Williams of the Special Olympics, Pastor Brandon and Lexi Robertson of God's Choice Service, with a musical performance from Uncle Si and the Sicotics. Now, here's your host of Late Shift, Mary Sampey.
Hi, and welcome to Late Shift. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm your host, Mary Sampey. Tonight we're going to be talking to Zach Williams, and he's going to be talking to us about Special Olympics and his involvement with that program. And we're also going to be having Pastor Robertson and his wife Lexi talk about all of their ministries at their church, the amazing ministries that they do for those with special needs. We'll be right back after this.
Breaking Bread is Armstrong's ongoing initiative to help feed the hungry in our community. To date, food and funds have been distributed to over 20 food banks. These organizations need our support throughout the year. Donations can be made at your local Armstrong office. Also, look for special Breaking Bread events in your area. All efforts benefit area food banks and soup kitchens. For more information, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ArmstrongOneWire.
Hi, and welcome back to Late Shift. I'm your host, Mary Sampey. Something that's just so inspiring to me and so many others are people that just defy stereotypes and live their life fully with passion and purpose and don't let anything bring them down. And someone that truly exemplifies that in our community is Zach Williams. Can everyone please welcome him to the show? I'm so excited that you're here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I've been a Special Olympics athlete for 23 years.
Wow, that's really amazing. And did you grow up here in the community?
No, I grew up in Cameron County, but my mom's from Pittsburgh.
Okay, great. So where are you living now?
Right here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And how long have you been in Connellsville?
About 3 years.
Okay, great. So you've been involved in Special Olympics for most of your life. And what can you tell us about Special Olympics?
A lot of my friends, there's 20,000 athletes in Pennsylvania that participate.
Wow, that's really amazing. And how did you come to know about Special Olympics in the first place?
I think it was my mom, somebody introduced my mom to Special Olympics.
Great, that's wonderful. So you were introduced to Special Olympics, and when you first started, what exactly is all involved? I've never really gone to any kind of Special Olympic event. So what's all involved when you go to a Special Olympic event?
There's a lot of athletes and coaches and other staff to make sure that things go smoothly at our events.
That's wonderful. So when you're at the event, what kind of things do you participate? I see that you have all of your medals there. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Our program here has basketball. There hasn't been volleyball in a while, but there's track and field and swimming. And my mom's a softball coach. Bocce, and they took golf away, but that's all of our sports pretty much.
Wonderful. And I'm sure that you've met a lot of really amazing friends as a result of that.
Yes.
Good. That's wonderful. Probably friends that are more like family now.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And, what kind of misconceptions and stereotypes about people with special needs and disabilities would you like to share with people that you would kind of like to break?
When I was little, since I have hydrocephalus, my head's enlarged. And a lot of people made fun of my head at school even. I have an older sister, 9 years older than I do, and she got the football team to take care of those people.
Well, that's good. That's really good. But I'm sure there's a lot of, young people that would really like to hear that message because they get bullied for all sorts of different types of things in their school. And how did you overcome that?
I just keep doing what I do, just be myself.
That's good. That's all you could do, just be yourself and keep smiling and let that light shine that you have, and that's what's most important, and people really pick up on that, I'm sure. So what kind of local events are going on right now in Special Olympics that you would like to share with us?
We have bocce on Tuesday nights from 5 to 6. And we also, monthly, I have a management team meeting with our coaches.
Okay, that's really wonderful. And what does Special Olympics mean to you? When you think about Special Olympics and what it has meant in your life, what do you think about?
A lot of fun, meeting new friends, and having fun. And I've also got asked by a person from Washington County to participate with what I'm doing right now is flag football and track. Flag football and long distance running. So.
Yeah, well, that's really, really good. And I'm sure if you would have just, you could have just decided or chosen to just stay at home and not gotten involved in any of that. And because of that, it's really brought so much richness to your life, and I'm sure richness to a lot of other people's life.
Yes.
Yeah. How does it make you feel when you know that you've made a difference in someone else's life?
It makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's right. That's really awesome. Well, when we come back, we're going to be talking to Pastor Robertson and his wife Lexi about Covra Methodist Church and about the ministries that they have there. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Zach.
I was born and raised in Mount Pleasant and lived there all my life. I started working for Armstrong in February of 1973. I joined the fire department in November of 1976. Being a volunteer means to help people, and I guess I've always grown up knowing that helping people was the main thing. Armstrong has always been community-oriented. They've always taken care of people that came from the community. Even though I'm getting older, I still enjoy going out and helping whenever I can. Being able to help somebody when they're in need, it makes you feel real good inside.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Late Shift. We're here with Zachary Williams, and we've been talking about his work with Special Olympics and the other amazing things that he's a part of. And a part of that, when we were talking to Zachary and his mom about being on the show, we started talking about another amazing thing that he's involved with, and that is God's Choice through Cove Run Free Methodist Church. So today I have Senior Pastor Brandon Robertson and his beautiful wife Lexi to the show. Could everyone welcome them, please? And so I would just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about, first of all, how long have you been in Lamont Furnace, and about your church and the different ministries that you guys provide.
Sure. Well, we've only been in Fayette County, Lamont Furnace, for about 3 years. In fact, we just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary in the area at the end of July. I was part-time pastor for about a year, and then went full-time in 2016. So for the last 2 years, I've been full-time. And when we first got there, we had just come back from our annual conference down in Florida. And there was a big presentation there from the founder of God's Choice, Pastor Shirley Elosh. She's from Liverpool, Ohio. She lives in that area. And we had talked to her about this, and wanted to know more about it, because neither one of us grew up with special needs family members or friends or anything, so we weren't exposed. We didn't realize the culture that's there and the needs that are there spiritually too, not just physically but spiritually. And when we first got there, the first thing we brought up at one of our first board meetings was, have you ever thought about ministering to special needs folks in this area? And the church jumped on board like immediately. We knew it was the right thing to do at the right time. And so, but we're both Pittsburgh natives. I went to high school in Bell Vernon. Nice. I graduated from Bell Vernon High School, and Lexi.
I went to South Park.
Yeah.
Okay, great, wonderful.
We know the area pretty well.
Yeah.
Good. And that's really amazing, because as you know, I work for a church as well, and so often when you have someone with a disability or special need, the temptation is to almost say, oh, there's nothing that we can offer you, or we try to just assimilate them into what we are already doing, and a lot of times that just doesn't work. And so it's really important to know about these things that are going on in the community, so that if there's something that another parish isn't offering, we could say, hey, this is going on. I mean, I didn't even know about it till they were telling me, and I thought, wow, this is really amazing. We really need to share, this amazing ministry that you have. So the other question I wanted to just ask is, just talk to us about what God's Choice is. How did it get started? How has it grown over the years?
Yeah, I mean, God's Choice is a ministry. Again, the founder, it was based on 1 Samuel 16:7. Man looks at the outward appearance, God looks on the heart. And that is so vitally important when understanding special needs. You just mentioned churches, mainstream, and I don't think it's a wanton thing or a willful thing. I think churches are just not sure how to do this. There's a natural fear that surrounds ministering to special needs people. They do things sometimes that we don't fully understand, but that's the beauty of this. When you really just dive into this and start loving the community and communicating with them and communicating with the caregivers and the parents and people like Mary and Zach, you learn that they're just like us. They have needs just like us, and you know what? You end up being ministered back to.
That's right.
So God's Choice is it's a weekly service, and it's basically church for special needs people. We take what we believe are the best parts of a Sunday morning service. A lot of them are pushed out of Sunday morning services. It's very sad when we hear stories like that, where, you know, if there's an outburst, you know, then they're told to be quiet or to leave the sanctuary. You know, we understand in some way, but that's horrifying that the church would do that. And so this is a Thursday night service. You know, we do it on Thursday night. Other God's Choices at other churches in our denomination will do it on a Monday night. It's up to the church.
Good.
But it's a weekly service, and we take a little offering. We do songs, and they absolutely love to sing. And we do a very short message, so it's not overly complicated. We want to try to minister to them where they are, and we do crafts and things like that. And the service has changed over the last 2 years. We launched it in April of 2016, but it's been one of the most wonderful ministries that we have going on at our church and our community. Little Lamont Furnace, you wouldn't expect it.
No, for sure. And the craziest thing is when I was talking to you and all of these connections started going on in my brain, thinking, wait, this sounds vaguely familiar to me, and I feel like we're connected somehow. And it just so happened my cousin attends God's Choice, my cousin Jen. If you're watching, hi Jen. And she loves it, and I know she talks about it so often with my dad, and just really enjoys to come. And so I got to go on your website and see all her pictures there and some of the different things that you guys offer, and it's just such a gift to her, and I'm sure a lot of other people.
The thing. She ministers to us in
Yeah.
such a special way.
Yeah.
She is a poet, as you know, Jenny.
Goodness.
And
Yeah.
she has shared so much of her godly poetry with the whole group. And some of them sing special music, and they help take offering. They participate. Zach, in particular, I know that we haven't mentioned the connection yet, but I've got to mention Zach has filled in for me when I've been on vacation. He'll teach the lesson for me.
That's awesome.
And it's such a beautiful thing to see churches coming together and people coming together to do this.
Yeah, since you mentioned churches coming together, so you don't have to be Methodist to come. You don't have to be any denomination to come. Okay,
and it's unchurched.
Great.
You could be dare I say, you can be an atheist and come. We welcome everybody. That's the whole point of church.
Yeah.
The point of church is to be inviting to all.
Wonderful.
And we don't just minister to the participants, we minister to their caregivers as well.
Great.
The caregivers are really the key because they're the ones bringing them.
Absolutely.
And so we want to minister to them and make them feel welcome. We do an annual caregiver appreciation, and honestly, with the work that they do, we could minister to, we could do an appreciation every
separate
month
thing,
for them,
yeah,
because
for them,
they have a really tough job sometimes. And so we love to minister to them too. So
Yeah.
anybody is welcome.
That's wonderful. And how has this kind of, grown? How do people like Zach come to know about it? How do they know how to get to you or how to find you?
Well, we do have our Facebook page and our website, but it's been word of mouth.
Wonderful.
Honestly. So
Yeah, that's great.
we thank everybody that has been there, but our first night we prayed for at least one person to show up.
We wanted one.
And we had two.
We had two.
So it was awesome.
And we thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
We prayed for one and he provided two, 100% gain.
Yeah.
Our first night, April 14th, 2016, we had two, and Zach wasn't involved at that point, but that's it. It's been word of mouth. The website came later. The Herald Standard had actually covered it, which is, we have that video on our website.
Yeah.
We do have that Facebook page, which my wife is the one that kind of curates that and
Tries
takes
to
care of
keep
that,
up
right? We try to really minister that way.
A lot of it is word of mouth though, and people just talking about the fun and getting all of the different housings, the houses coordinating to get here.
Yeah.
And I think that
Wonderful.
it's been pretty awesome to see the growth, just because the caregivers, they change a lot. It's a really tough job.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of new faces. but it just keeps spreading, and it keeps spreading into the different housing communities. So we're really blessed.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. What other events do you have other than the Thursday nights? Do you do other events with them throughout the year?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We do an annual prom. And again, it's something where each church locally, we don't follow, Pastor Shirley was the one that founded it, but God's Choice is very unique to each church because the areas are unique, the people are unique. So we do an annual prom, and the first year we did it, it was really, I forget where we had it, out in Lysenring, the fire hall, West Lysenring, and we had over 100 people there. And they dressed up in tuxes and dresses, and we had a photographer there, and they loved to dance. We did their hair and makeup.
It was epic.
Some of them never experience what it's like to go to their prom. And so, and it's something we don't think about. We take it for granted. And so when they gave us that idea, it was like, oh my goodness, that's such a great idea. And I know Zach in particular has enjoyed the dances. And this past year, the prom was out at the Light and Life Campground in Fairchance, and we did a Noah's Ark theme.
Oh, nice.
So we had the place decorated with animals and all of this, and the theme is so vitally important.
Yeah.
We do our annual caregiver appreciation, which we give them gifts and honor them.
Great.
We celebrate birthdays, in kind of a zany way, But as far as events, we're always looking for ways that we can minister to them through events.
Yeah.
And so, of course, some of it ties to budget, like what we can or are able to do. But the Lord has blessed us immensely with this. I mean, it's incredible to see what He's done.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And Zach, how long have you been involved with God's Choice?
A little over a year, right, Pastor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And what do you like about it when you go?
Everything. And I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite things is when Lexi says, well, guess what time it is?
And it's always choir time.
It's choir time. Yeah. We actually have a choir in God's Choice.
Yes.
We don't have a choir on Sunday mornings in our main church.
It's
We have a choir.
difference
It's incredible.
between Thursday night worship service and Sunday morning worship service. It's completely different. And they're actually, I think they came to us, they came to talk to you about
They
it,
did.
of possibly leading worship on a Sunday morning service.
That would be an amazing
They're
witness
always
for other
welcome.
people.
Absolutely.
Right. We have this for Thursday night, but we never tell them it's a substitute if they want it. And many of them have come on our Sunday morning service to be ministered to, and they're welcome. And so we've seen that. We've seen that cooperative effect between God's Choice. We're not two separate churches. It's one church, one body, and that's how we do it.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming, and thank you for just all the work that you do, and you're truly an inspiration to the community, and just keep doing what you're doing. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming tonight. We'll be right back.
Zoom from Armstrong, the area's fastest and most reliable internet, just keeps getting better. We're increasing Zoom 2 speeds to 300 megabits per second. That means more streaming and more downloads for more devices. And with those devices, you're going to need more data. Zoom customers, your monthly data allowance has increased to 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes for Zoom 2 and above. That's double the data. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com/internet for more details. The future is faster with Zoom.
Hi, and welcome back to Late Shift. If you've seen our last episode, you saw Callie Tony getting to talk to Uncle Si and the Sicotics, and they got to perform at the Fayette County Fair. And we'd like to share with you one of the songs that they did there for our special musical guest. Please enjoy.
Girl, I'm getting lonely.
You'll get over it. It's just called silent singing. You'll be all right. We've had to recover too. Does Pennsylvania know how to yeehaw? And I'm talking about on a raised back road down in the country yeehaw. Let me hear one big yeehaw. There's your answer. here, Pennsylvania.